I'm a nice guy. I've made something of myself, he implored. I love you. I don't know if Flip understood that I was as hurt as he was, but I couldn't see us having a solid marriage. That's because Flip Wilson ain't already married. If he was married to a bitch, she would have loved it. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to a friend, tell a friend, whatever it is that you do, just get us out there. Subscribe and tip your favorite narrator via Cash App at $NAROB on YouTube. And if you're not already a part of this book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube. And for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, let's continue reading Mary Wilson's Supreme Faith. This is what happened with Flip Wilson. I first met him in the 60s when we were playing Leo's Casino, a popular Cleveland club and Chitlin circuit landmark. At the time, the Supremes had a couple of hits. Flip was a stand-up comedian in the Red Fox mode, performing and recording sexually explicit material. One evening at Leo's, Diane, Flo, and I were standing in the wings, blushing at Flip's act. After the show, Barry, who was always very protective of, quote, his girls, cornered Flip backstage. Listen, man, you're going to have to clean up your act because my girls are good girls. What? You want me to clean up my act because of them, nigga? Them girls don't pay my rent. What? This act is paying my bills. Tell your bitches, just do them. How Barry gonna be all? What did he think? Flip Wilson was a sucker or something? Was his character like that of a sheepish man for Barry Bedbug Bikes to just go over there and be like, look, man, change your act. Change my act. We can't be on a show with acts like yours. The three of us stood out of sight, giggling as Barry threatened to cancel our dates there if Flip didn't tone down his material. Flip didn't clean up his act enough to finish the gig, but Barry kept us away from him as much as he could. Flo, Diane, and I still snuck out to see Flip between shows, though. Yeah, who the hell? Our paths crossed dozens of times over the next few years, and Barry's warnings aside, we hung out with Flip whenever we worked together. At the time, Flip and I became close friends, but nothing serious. I just thought he was a terrific guy. Like most people, I'd always thought of Flip as a funny man. But as I got to know him, I learned that he rarely cracked a joke off stage. At first, I found this strange, but I grew to respect his ability to separate private life from public life. I've always been drawn to creative men, but few are secure enough to share their creativity with a woman. You wouldn't necessarily look at Flip and say, hey, he's sexy. But I can tell you, he really was. Flip was terribly romantic and loved women. Ain't he a Sagittarius? Remember that movie, Kiss the Girls, with the man over there collecting all the women down in the basement? One was a genius, one played the violin, one was exceptionally beautiful, one could do arithmetic, blah, blah, blah. That was a Sagittarian man. Flip was terribly romantic. That's how them fire signs are. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Flip was terribly romantic and loved women, not just for their bodies or their feminine qualities, but for their intelligence. Flip Wilson is a Sagittarius. I think it said that his birthday was December 2nd. That was something I always liked in my male friends, and to have it in a love relationship made it even more special. Flip would sit for hours writing jokes and working out different situations for material, then say, "What do you think of this?" He'd perform the material for me as if he were on stage. I'd be nearly convulsed with laughter. And with a totally straight face, he'd ask, "What do you think?" That was hilarious, Flip. "Oh, okay, great." Then he'd resume his writing. After I moved to Los Angeles, Flip and I spent more time together. Willie liked Flip a lot too. He would talk and joke around with Willie and was a very positive person. Flip and I took long, quiet walks, and I loved cooking for him. He would call me up and say, "Make sure you have my dinner ready." One Sagittarian, that's what they do. They tell you what to do. At the time, Black people were pulling together socially and politically, but intermarriage between successful Blacks and whites was on the rise. Interracial dating was basically accepted, but any mixed couple would always get second looks wherever they went. Many Blacks, myself included, felt it was important to marry within the race. If I thought that marrying a Black man would complete my life, I was proud of being Black and believed that as a Black public figure, I should set an example. Many Black men I knew felt the same way. It wasn't only because of the times. I saw it as a very natural impulse, an expression of Blackness, but yet and still you hunched on a white dick every chance you got. Not that I got problems with white dingling. I don't. But how do you put this in a book and then turn around and hunch white pickles? Okay, I'll move around. Even though she ended up with a Black man, but I'm saying she ain't had no problem with hunching a white pickle. Steve McQueen's pickle ain't black. Shit. It's one of the whitest pickles I've ever seen on television. Flip and I had finished dinner one evening when he became very serious and said, "Will you marry me?" Though I cared for him deeply, I had to say no. There was real love between us, but not the kind I thought went into a marriage. Yeah. He ain't married. He ain't married. He ain't married, so she don't want to marry him. She want a man that's married so the man could divorce his wife and then marry her and then cheat on her with another bitch. When I told Flip that I didn't think we should marry, he became very upset. Didn't I tell you them Sagittarian men will kill you? Girl, they got anger issues. You Black women, he grumbled. When you find a good man, you turn around and marry a white guy. Flip, I really do want to marry a Black man, but I can't marry you just because you are Black. I'm a nice guy. I've made something of myself, he implored. I love you. I don't know if Flip understood that I was as hurt as he was, but I couldn't see us having a solid marriage. That's because Flip Wilson ain't already married. If he was married to a bitch, she would have loved a ninja. I thought then that only a passionate, all-consuming love could make a marriage. That's stupid, but she's young. That's stupid. That's what we all think when we're young. You know, we thinking, oh, if I don't have passion, then it's no reason to be together. And passion ain't nothing but you chasing a nigga around trying to keep him from cheating on you with another bitch. You realize it's things different. It's things more important than chasing some ninja around trying to keep him from, paying prostitutes to do what they do in cars in the front seat. It's more to life than that. Like, can we pay bills together? Will my children be ugly? Do I have to worry about him putting his hands on me? That's what's important. Will he be respectful to me? Will he be a good father to my children? That's what's important. not passion. I mean, you want it, but that's like when you're married for a long, that falls on like number 22. Does he have something that he cherishes in life? Does he have something to lose? Child, nobody give a fuck about no damn passion. I don't know if Flip understood that I was as hurt as he was, but I couldn't see us having a solid marriage. I thought then that only a passionate, all-consuming love could make a marriage. Pause, pause, pause. Let me tell you about sleeping with married men. When I tell you that passion with sleeping with married men be all-consuming, and it's because you are so emotional about it. It's the give and take. And plus, you know the rules. Married mother hunchies, they'll unload the clip. You hear me? But the single men, child, they won't even reach for the blicker. Blink, if you know what I'm saying. So it's always going to be passionate and all-consuming with a man who's not available that's still trying to keep you on his team. That's just the way the universe works, child. Unfortunately, I didn't convey my thoughts to Flip as clearly as I might have. For several months, he was very angry. Ain't he a Sagittarian man? Okay. Unfortunately, I didn't convey my thoughts to Flip as clearly as I might have. For several months, he was very angry, and I respected him for reaching out for the same ideal I too was searching for. Eventually, we got to be friends again, but not without some awkwardness. On May 24th, 1970, Cindy became the first Supreme to marry while still in the group. Her husband was a debonair white guy named Charles Hewlett. They met a couple of years earlier when he came backstage to see us in Vegas. Cindy, Jean, and I were having a ball traveling the country. Our friendship was growing and everything looked bright for the new Supremes. Throughout the summer, we performed live on television. Primetime variety shows were still a staple of TV programming, and we appeared regularly on most of them. The Flip Wilson Show, The Ed Sullivan Show, Glenn Campbell's Good Time Hour, and later the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour. In addition, we were popular guests on television specials hosted by Bob Hope, Kate Smith, and other stars, and on talk shows such as David Frost. I put all my hopes on our second album, New Ways, but love stays.